So guys, we have Lee Sarver from the home office who's going to be teaching today. She is the guru with the CRM. So make sure if you haven't already logged into your CRM, do it right now. Go ahead and log into your mobile sales app if you haven't already. She's going to teach us some new updates, and some other stuff, how to look at your reservicing list, the whole 9 yards. That's the way of the future, reservicing, and also some awesome new updates with the CRM. So make sure that you're in a good spot. You can take some really good notes so we can implement this today. So I'm going to shift things over to you, Mrs. Lee.
All right, awesome. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So I wanted to first kick off just as a reminder, every single month, if you're not checking your email towards the end of the month, you're missing out. So we've got our monthly mobile technology newsletter, and that newsletter is going to give you kind of an insight into what's changed for the month, what's coming up, any announcements. And we always include some tips and tricks to help make your lives easier when it comes to mobile technology. So just this in August, we had this newsletter that went out a few weeks ago. And this is kind of what you can consider a cheat sheet for MSA. We've had a lot of inquiries on what does this mean? What does this lead status mean? How should I be using this? Or when does this triggered automatic lead status happen? So we've developed this little cheat sheet for you guys to save and look back at. If you missed it, don't worry. If you delete your emails, not realizing what it was, we actually put all of the mobile technology newsletters from the January up to now in Fit. So you'll be able to see that in Fit. But if you're curious as to what each of those type of pins means, where do you see them? This is a great page to reference on that newsletter. So check it out. The other thing too, the newsletter showed is we have a brand new PDF that actually Brad Corvey put together for us when it comes to recruiting. So exciting to hear that you guys get a little bonus, a little incentive when you get that questionnaire filled out. This is going to be helpful for you guys in the field. This is one PDF, a page of all these different videos about recruiting, demonstrating culture. For you all that went to the mid-year meeting who saw some of those return or premium videos that were recorded, all of those are right here, hyperlinked in one easy document for you to download, have on your cell phone, have it on your iPad, wherever you do business. So again, this is available and Fit in the resources tab right under mobile office resources, and it's called the Video Links Library. So do go and look at that. We have updated Fit. So if you've logged in recently and you're a little confused as to what's changed, well, our resources tab, we've reorganized this to kind of slim it down, make it easier to find what you're looking for. And again, if you're looking for that recruiting video library, that's going to be under FHD Sales Academy. Okay, mobile office. And then anything that has to do with mobile technology, CRM like Salesforce or Data Axle, you'll find that here. And then all those monthly tech updates are right in their own little section in Fit. So that's where you're going to find things. And of course, you can always reach out to me if you don't find something you're looking for. Some juicy stuff coming up this month here. So something to mark in your calendars. Tuesday, the 19th of September, we have our release 3 for mobile sales app going out. Those are enhancements that have been in the works, this whole year. Family Heritage as a company has really taken the directive of beefing up, enhancing, making our experience on mobile sales a lot better for you all in the field. And here's some things that are coming up that are new. I'll walk through some of them, but I have some photos to show you too. So we're going to be able to sync leads, not just from the list, but also from the map for those of you that primarily use the map. We've also added a way to sync appointments to your own calendars. So if you like to have appointments, maybe you have an Apple Watch that tells you you've got an appointment coming up, this is going to be super useful for you. In addition to that, we've added a lead filter on the map. So you don't just search leads on your list, but you can also search all your prospects and leads from the map site as well. And they're shared. So anything you search on the map, if you were to toggle over to list, it keeps that filter exactly what you set it on that search. So you can see both exactly in the criteria you're just looking for. The other thing too is we've always heard, it's a pain to just remove a bunch of leads. I just want to delete a lot, in one big punch. Well, you can batch delete already. However, it's a big group that you search, right? Now what we'll be able to do is you can tap and hold on a trash can. It enters into like a remove mode, and you can just kind of swipe easily on all the leads you just want to remove from your list. The other thing too is it was reported that some sometimes when being offline, the latitude and longitude went missing on some of those pins. So we've got a way to fix that. And so the next time you go online and you sync your leads, whatever doesn't have a latitude and longitude, the system MSA will go back and try to pull that detail from the system to get those pins populating again. The other thing too is we have your lead list is going to now show not just the lead type, but we've also heard you is, can I just also see lead status right next to that? Because otherwise you're stuck having to tap on lead details again to see that status. So instead of tapping again, you'll just see that right there front and center for you. And lastly, we've got an overview. Not lastly, sorry, we've got a new area inside of MSA called the Overview Hub, which I'll show you in just a moment of how that works. But that's going to track up your follow-up schedule, allow you to see those schedules on the map, and also take a look at your activities, what's been done in the past and today. And we do have some normal, generic, just bug fixes, stability and improvements to help with the experience in MSA. And something really important you guys should know. So remember, last release, we added the Data Axle button so you can sign in directly to Data Axle. Now what we'll be doing in this release is two big reported almost every week almost where the questions are, why does it take 60 minutes for my B2B leads to come into Salesforce? And then also why once I export from Data Axle that I have to sign back in, go to Salesforce and then push them again to my MSA? Can I just do that all in one fell swoop? And the answer will be yes, you're going to be able to. So what we've done is we were bypassing Salesforce. So once this release goes out in MSA, you're exporting B2B leads out of Data Axle. It's going to be really cool because when you export, you're going to export actually directly into the mobile sales app, and it's not going to be 60-minute processing time anymore. We're still trying to get some of those timings down as small as possible. It won't be instant, but it's also not going to be 60 minutes. So stay tuned to hear about what that process has been updated to. But those are some of the things that are coming in September. And of course, we'll have a training available for you all, some sneak peek videos so you can kind of make your adjustments before Tuesday, the 19th. And of course, here's a screenshot I wanted to show you of our dev environment. But here you can see the map and the list toggle in the middle of MSA will be moved kind of nice and clean and modern over to the left-hand side. There's this new area called Overview. That's the Overview Hub. And here's what it looks like. So in Overview, you have follow-ups and activities. Now, if you're looking at follow-ups, it's going to show you all of, like, pretend this is today's date. It's going to show you all of the appointments and follow-ups or calls or enrollments that you've got to go and take care of that very same day. If you only wanted to see those specific follow-ups and appointments on your map, you just click view on map and only those specific pins will display for you. So you can kind of see what route you want to take, or at least have an understanding of what part of town you're going to be in for the day or the next day, or however many days ahead of time. And you can also sync to your calendar from here. So whatever your appointments are, if you want to sync those over to your own native calendar, like Google Calendar, for example, you can do that from here as well. So this is going to be what you see under follow-ups. However, what you're going to see under activities in the Overview Hub is also pretty cool. So this is the same day like today, plus whatever's in the past. It kind of outlines what activities have been done. For example, you'll see the lead type that the record is, you'll see who and their name, the time the activity was done, and of course, what this was. Did you set an enrollment with this individual? Did you go back and visit them, right? So that information will be available to you here. Great for tracking your stats, really good for if you're training someone to take a look at the activities, because we all know life rewards action. So the activities are the most important part of our day. And you'll get to see that from here and keep track of your stats in that way. Obviously, the lead details button stays on each one of these at this row. So if you needed to drill down further, you absolutely could from here. So those are two new areas that you can access. And of course, as we continue to enhance, We've made space here for additional pages. We've made space here too for additional enhancements. So this really sets us up for the future. Now, the next slide is a sneak peek at what our filter is going to look like. So here's the map for those that want to search from the map and say, hey, I want to see this specific set of lead types. Maybe you're looking for B2Bs. In addition to that, you're looking for new policy follow-up or some other 2 other lead types. You can just tap, click away as many as you need to, and the map will start to kind of filter down to your search parameters. If you want to say, you know what, just give me those ad hocs that I need to do follow-ups on, or follow-ups and also I've sold, so I can just, solidify my sale from the week before. You can click both of those statuses or however many you want to. It's a nice little mix, a matrix that gets you what you need to see on the map. In addition to that, when you look at date, you can click on date created. So if you're looking for a specific date range, like show me from this train more to this train more, or that last week or yesterday, you'll be able to do so from here. And you can also search your removed. So if you don't see what you're looking for on your active, maybe you already removed it. You can just toggle on removed and you'll be able to find by lead type and date. And we've also left the search bar here, so you can also search your leads in that way as well. And if you set this, what's going to happen is if you toggle to list, the list will also have been filtered out and sorted according to your filter parameters. So we expect this to be to get feedback, obviously. So do look out for this. And hopefully this will make your lives a lot easier. Now, just as a reminder, some best practices for that update Monday night. Okay, usually we do updates on a Tuesday. This is coming off of a train more week, right? The week before. So remember, when on Monday, the 18th, before you finish your day, or when you finish your day, go ahead and just back up your MSA. And if you've never backed up before, I'll just let you know, it's a good practice to do every evening when you're done with your workday, because you never know what can happen. Your device might not wake up the next day and you'll need to do a restore, or something will break or fall. This is just a good way to back up your device. So if you go to your settings, go to data backup and restore at the end of your day on Monday, and just do a manual backup. So tomorrow you'll be ready to install. And also be sure, if you can, submit all of those e-apps if you're still holding them after the weekend. Send those all out on Monday so your app is clear. You don't need to uninstall or delete the app. It will, when you sign in on Tuesday, you'll get a prompt like usual. It says we've got a new version out there for you. Download it, and just be sure to download on strong, stable internet. We do prefer Wi-Fi. That's the preferred way. Of course, I know sometimes that's not possible. You have to use data. Just know it will take a little longer with data. Just leave your app open, let all the updates run so it downloads fully and you won't experience any issues. And of course, if you do experience issues, make sure you've got this number here saved. It's our mobile help desk. You can report any issues to them. And I always find out that way if something's amiss in the world of mobile technology. So with that, I'm going to share with you a tip and trick about finding and reservicing your customers in Salesforce. So we're going to take a look at that now. I'm going to pivot here and share my other screen. Give me just a second. Let me open up my Salesforce page. And I am logged in a test account here. So if yours looks just slightly different, don't worry. This is a test account that I'm using. So sometimes we have features that haven't been released yet that you might see. So once you're in the home page of Salesforce, okay, which you either have gotten there from MSA because you clicked on the cloud, or maybe you're looking at a desktop from the link. Remember, this is browser based, so you can access this from anywhere you have a web browser. So from the home page, at the top left corner, you can see here, I've got my, what we call a hamburger, the 3 little lines. You're going to click there, and when it expands, go and find your map. Map is where really, I'd say about 90% of the things that are important to be done inside of Salesforce, they originate on the map. So this is where you want to go ahead and click. When you first sign into here, you'll see that it's the whole world map, and then your control panel will begin to load. Now, for those of you, if you haven't logged in for quite a while, for some time into the map, it's totally possible that you might be seeing a gray screen that says something about a license required. That's a GeoPoint license. It's just a vendor that we use. Super easy fix. Just send me an email. You can also create a case in here. If you go to navigation to cases. You can create a case and just tell Globe Live Salesforce support that you're getting a gray screen on the map. It'll be fixed within a couple of minutes. So this is exactly what you should be seeing. And if you notice, I am signed in as an agent. So I've got 3 folders. If you're an AB, you might have more folders. And if you're an AO, you definitely have more folders. But the folder you want to look at is the standard folder agent. That's going to have all of your default foundational basic map layers, right? Now I have it set on everywhere. I just want to see what populates in the United States. If you're in this very specific area and you have zoomed into your map, you might be using map view. If you've gotten really advanced and have gone through the learning pathways journey, you might be using shapes already. So I'm just going to leave it on everywhere. So if you're not sure, that's a good place to start. And when you tap or click on a folder, you see it expands to show you the layers. Go ahead and click on active customers. Those are customers that you have received production credit for. So this will be since the beginning of your career with Family Heritage, not just the beginning of CRM. And of course, if you're one of those agents that are veterans that have had other previous agent numbers, those do roll up into your latest one. So once that opens, you'll start to see some of these like lime green pins populate on the map. Those are your active customers. And if you tap on them, you can see like this customer has 2 policies. This customer has 2 policies. So you'll see those policy numbers. And if you scroll down, now I will say, if you're using an iPad, it's not necessarily a scroll. What you'll do with your finger, it's a gesture. You'll put your finger over this area at the bottom and you'll tap and hold and just gently swipe upwards. And that will bring this list up. Okay, so that's how you would do it on an iPad. If you're on a laptop, just scroll up. Right? So this is our table, our map list. You can see I've got some generic information like who wrote it, the address, the number, the account. But the wonderful thing about it is you can actually customize this to show you more information. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay. So this is not enough for me. I'd like to see what kind of policy it is. I'd like to be able to see not just the effective date, but see paid to date. I want to see total claim paid, that kind of information. So if you want to customize your list, you'd come right back over to the map layer. And then there's these 3 little dots. Oops, 3 little dots right here. I'm going to click. And when you do that, you're going to go to edit data set. Now I do have this recorded in video, so I will send that via chat as soon as we finish. So you have a copy of how to kind of watch this all over again. And I know this is also being recorded. So once you open up that edit dataset box, okay, this pop-up will come up and you are not going to mess anything up. This is default. It's locked down. What we're doing now is just creating a brand new customized map layer for you. So don't worry about messing anything up. You can't, right? So this is showing you active customers. There are insurance policies that it's displaying. And then you can see we've got a couple of options, I should say. Currently, we're looking at what is being filtered in and out. Fields means information, right? Information that populates, like what we want to see at the map list table. Those are the columns, right? Markers are the pins. Maybe I don't like a color and I want to see it a different color. You can customize that here. And then obviously other is not really used, but it's something that helps. If you have more than 50,000 markers, then you probably need to change, but I don't know anyone that has that much unless you're an agency owner. So down here, when I scroll on filters, you can see it's showing me the things that belong to me, the current writing agent, right? My policies. It's showing me that the policy is active because this is true. And it's also showing me the status is active. These 2 kind of are utilized to make sure that these are active policies you're looking at. Now I'm going to click on fields, which is the second option. Okay. And this is what, see that pieces of information, account, effective date. Those are the things that I want to see displayed and customized. So there's those fields, and of course there's these 2 options here. Show in table just means it's that map list that we saw at the very bottom. That's what show in table is. If this is not checked, you will not see a column down there with that information. If it's checked, you will see. And here I can already tell there's some that isn't checked. Like I want to see a phone. Sure, I want to see account email. county, active policies. I don't need to see type just because this is a policy. And since I don't need to see it, I'm going to delete it. Just click the little trash can. It's not an opportunity. This is a policy, so I don't really need that because it won't populate information in there for me. And of course, if birth dates are important to you, you want to keep those on there. And since this is not a referral, also this won't populate. So I kind of cleaned up. I do want to see if I sent it to MSA though. So I cleaned up this list, but there's stuff missing, right? I want to see what benefit level they have. You know, I need more information. So we'll scroll back to the top. Okay, excuse me. We'll scroll back to the top here. And if you look at the top right, there's a button that says add field. I'll click on that. And you can see I'm in the insurance policy area and I want to see AC day, right? What day are they paying their policy every month? And then I can use this search bar, or you can just kind of scroll through here and you know, experiment. I'll be honest with you though, that this down here is an experiment because it's tied to not just Family Heritage, but other Globe companies. So there might be stuff that isn't necessarily connected for us for our use in the Family Heritage side. And I'll also save you time because this is how we've customized lists before in the past. So write this down. So other than AC date, premium amount, right? If you start typing in the search here, right? I'm typing premium, it'll start to sort. And I have found premium amount. That's how much they pay per month, right? The next thing I like to see is give me policy details, right? What kind of policy is it? So if you type the word base, BASE, I've got the benefit level, the coverage level, and the product series. And of course, as I'm clicking and adding, you can see them start adding and piling up at the bottom for me. The next thing I'd like to see is returner premium information. So type in ROP. Now, if they don't have ROP, of course, you're not going to see that field populated. And if they do, you will. So I want to see what's the potential amount that it might be. And also what's that potential maturity date. The next thing I'd like to see is information on claims paid. So I'm going to type the word claim. And you can see there's total claim paid amount. That will show you any claims, including wellness benefit claims that have been paid to the policy, to this policy holder. Really great information. You can sort this when it comes to the map list at the bottom. So if I see anyone that hasn't had a claim paid, I check to see if they need to file a wellness benefit. Or if I'm just looking for someone to give me more referrals, the odds are someone that's had a claim paid out probably is more likely to give me those referrals. So that's another way you can use that information. Okay, and of course, if there's anything else, you can always scroll through that list. If you just delete, you can have this. You might find something that's helpful to have. You can totally do that. But for now, I'm just going to leave it where it is. And when I'm ready to save, I'm going to go to the bottom here and click on save. And you can see those start to add. Here's from AC date, and they have, I'm just making sure they're checked, benefit level, etc. Now, if you see something up here or down that you want to move up, very simple, just tap and hold, right? Just tap and hold. Or you can, if you're on a computer, just like what I'm doing, this kind of scrolling, and it's very simple to just be able to move things over so you can see them. So you can decide later if you want what you want to see. If you don't really care at this point to take a look at, for example, maybe you don't need to know original writing agent name because it's you that sold it. Here you go. I'm going to uncheck those so we don't need to see them. But I'm ready. I'm ready to rock. So this is what I want to save. It looks good to me. So I'm going to go to save as at the bottom here on the right. And I'm going to rename this. So I'm going to rename this active customers with details. Something to know, if you're trying to save and you can't, right? It's not typing anything in here. Likely it's because you actually added a field, right? That was already there. So you'll just have to go in there, save. And for those of you that weren't able to, if that happened to you, you'll have a pop-up here that says what you saved double, because you can't have the same field twice. So now, where did that created layer go? The first folder, my personal save layers, will have, right? I clicked it to expand it, and it's going to have that customized layer you made. So I'm going to go ahead and open that instead. and we're going to take a look at the difference. Okay, so it repopulated, I still have my 10 customers, but now I have a lot more information, and you can scroll all the way through. So I'm going to scroll over to the right, but check this out. I've got all this nice, wonderful detail. You know, I can sort any one of these columns, right? I can check out what base coverage they have, premium amount. You can do all of that from these columns. So including sorting by number of active policies. Hey, if I see somebody that doesn't seem to have this policies with family heritage, full stop. So if they like this individual, I would definitely call on them to see, to share, do a reservice with them, but show them what they have, but also share them with what other policies are available. So this is how you customize a list, but how do you send this data over to MSA? So first of all, I recommend sorting an account. That is the name of the policyholder. And the reason we sort on account is because of this. So Salesforce is just divided by policies. So for example, here's this Nelson. He's got 2 policies with family heritage, and they're both here. These are 2 different policies. I don't need to click on both of those to send both to family heritage to mobile sales app. In mobile sales app, if you just send one of those records, when you sync in mobile sales app and look at that lead details page, in the coverage section, you'll actually find both details of those policies. So all you need to do, again, is sort on account. It's a policy holder. Go through your list and just check, like here's, this person has 3 policies. Just check the top of the one that they have. So here we go. All right. So now that I have, I'm not going to send the rest of them. You know, maybe I just want to send those 2, and that's going to send 2 policies for Nelson and 3 policies for Marianis. Now that I've selected from my list, on the far right here where it says actions, I'm going to click and push to mobile sales app. And you can see it is sending those lead details to a cloud, right? You've pushed it over to basically a network, a cloud. Stay on this page. We're waiting for a green confirmation message that tells us that thumbs up, it's been sent. Now, if you get a red confirmation message that said that your leads have already been sent to MSA, that's normal. So once you send them to MSA, they live in your mobile sales app. All you need to do is just kind of keep going and sending the rest that haven't been sent. You can see this data has sent through. I can close this. And then when I go to my mobile sales app and sync, this information is going to populate. So that's how you would, that's how you would do that for active customer reservice. Okay. Now, the other thing is term customers. Lee, I get this all the time. Is this going to show me customers from the first beginning of my career with family heritage? Not necessarily. So this is designed to help you with reinstatements. If there is, I don't know if I have any customers in this test account that I've canceled. Let's see, fingers crossed that we do. This is going to show you folks that have term policies in the last 90 days, okay, or terms exclusives at all also will show in here. So that's 90 days, okay, it aligns with our reinstatement. And of course, what you would want to do is contact those individuals to save those policies. However, what happens to them after those 90 days? What if you weren't able to capture and see this information, push it to mobile sales app to work? What happens to those, what we call closed opportunities? Well, I'm going to help you with that. You can customize this list too. So we're going to go to term customers, click on that edit data set. And now that pop-up box is coming up. Now this is not showing policies, it's showing opportunities, which I've said before. If you can imagine your book of business like a tree, each limb on the tree is a policy, and each policy, just like trees, can have multiple fruits, right? You can have a claim, you can have new policy follow-up or termination just on the same branch, on the same policy. So we're looking at opportunities here. This is a type, which are all, I know this is term stuff, so this is all going to be termed, and close equals false. That means the opportunity is closed, but I want to see both. I want to see closed opportunities and opportunities that I have that are still open. So instead of keeping this, now I could put this true, it's going to show me the close, but I'd like to see both in the same list. I'm going to do delete, right? We've removed that filter from here. And in addition to that, I don't really want to see the opportunities of policies that I have rescued, the ones I have reinstated or my customers have called to reinstate themselves. So let's add a filter. Click right here at the top. We're still in filters. You click add filter. This looks really similar to what you previously saw. Again, we're looking at opportunity. We need to drill down into the insurance policy. So type insurance. You'll see a filter. And then this is what we want to drill down into, insurance policy with that little arrow pointing over to the right side. I'm clicking here. And now you can see I'm in the opportunity, but I'm drilling down into the insurance policy. And I'm going to look for status. There we go. There's my status. When you click on that, you can see it's a pick list. So I'm going to do save. And what I want is the status. I don't want it equal to. That means I don't want to see. And you can scroll through this list. Again, this is stuff that other Globe companies also use. The one that's relevant to us is active. Let me scroll through here. Oh, I might have removed that already. Well, we actually can see. Let me change this. Let's put terminated. If you see active, pick active. For me, this, again, I have a test account. I'm going to do terminated, and I want it equals to terminated. So that way in my list, that's if you don't have active in this list here. In my list, I'm not going to see anything that's active. Add filter. Here it is. This is telling me the policy status is terminated, which means I can take action on that policy. And then you can look at fields and just take a look to see if that's what you need, the type, that's the type of opportunity, reason for cancellation, basically. It's going to tell me when this was assigned, when it was created, the date I closed it, the date it automatically closed if it did, number of active policies, the status, all that detail looks like it's good for me. Okay. And then I'm going to save as, and we'll name this all termed customers with details or whatever you want to name that to remind you. Save. Data set is saved. You can cross all that out. And then I'm going to, we're going to wait for it to populate all termed customers with details. There it is. I'm going to click on that again. And now this is going to show me not just open opportunities, but see these we didn't have before. These are probably closed, right? So it's going to show me the ones that are open and closed, but for policies that never got reinstated. So scrolling down to your map table, your map list down here, you can see that these, if I sort, there's no active. These are all terminated. Now, if you didn't sort by active or terminated, it's okay. You're just going to see some that are active in here, right? You don't need to call on those because they're good to go. Anything else that you have, of course, is something you can take action on. And this will tell you when it was assigned. Therefore, like these are more recent. The older ones, if you click on the header, it'll sort, here's stuff from like last year, for example. This never got reinstated, and it was a bank return item. This customer might not even know that it got canceled. So this is a different way that you can look at your list for reservicing. Okay. So with that, I think I have a little bit of time to take any questions if that's okay with you all. Kyle Van, does that work? I don't know how much time I have left here.
Yes, 100%. We're going to leave it open to the audience for any questions. Lee, this is awesome stuff. So much good information. Holy smokes. Any questions for Mrs. Lee?
I know it's a lot.
So we can export that, and it's something that we're obviously going to have to play with to get it to do. Is there a way to export it and then print it out from our tablet?
There is not. So Globe as a company is very, very strong on data protection. And so there is not a way to export this out to like an Excel sheet. You can consider this like your Excel sheet because you can rearrange these and sort, also filter. Like you can use the search, for example, let's just say I'm looking for someone that lives in Fry, Arizona, right? And you can see this list has been sorted, or maybe I'm looking for, just the cardiac care. Like or cancer care, whatever the case is, you can do that too. So in a way, this is like your Excel sheet, and you can push that data all to your mobile sales app. So when you're in the field selling and you're not online, you still have access to all your customer data. But good question, Brandy. Okay, anyone else? Okay, well, I know this can be overwhelming, so don't worry. I have a short video of how to customize things and push your active over to MSA. I'll send that in the chat. I think I can chat. And I know this is also recorded, so you guys have something to refer back to. Let's see, let me send that to the chat to you. Here you go. There you go. So if you want to bookmark that, save it. It's available to you. And I believe this is a short, like minute or so video, a quick one. Anyone else?
That was awesome, Lee. Thank you so much for giving us your time today, early in the morning, and just leveling us up. And this is powerful, guys. There's so many cool things on this CRM that if you just fool around with it today, just make sure you invest at least 15, 20 minutes and just educating yourself on it. That's the best way to learn it, just by doing it yourself. And that's how you're going to get better at anything, right? Just getting your first 100 demos in. The first 100 times you work on the CRM, you're going to be a lot better your 100th time than you were your first time, right? So just educating yourself. And we have access to a lot of good information here. And this is crucial, especially for reservicing, because that's what we're talking about every single day, reservicing, making sure your clients are taken care of, running your business like a business. And thank you so much again today, Lee. We're going to go ahead and just wrap up today.